record it. There we go. And then another student, you could contact another student, or someone could contact you for help. Like if you know how to use Canvas really well, then you can help somebody figure it out. Because I always get a couple of emails right off the bat. I can't figure out how to submit an assignment. And it's not really, I'm not really able to sort of walk you through that. Things look a little different on my end, but there's all kinds of resources at the college. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to shift over to what it looks like for me on Canvas, and what the first assignment, you may have looked at it. Well, let's just look at this shell. Remember that I have written out instructions elaborately, succinctly, over many semesters, and all the students that I've had, most of them can easily succeed, but they can only do it. This was my big kernel of wisdom. Get ready. And that's this. It's that it's time. The thing about going into your college courses, and this one for sure, is that it has a different rhythm than what you may be used to doing on your phone or your computer when you're just having fun. The rhythm of that, and I know because I am like I'm all over that TikTok, you know, the rhythm is really fast and you don't stay on things for long. So that's kind of where the rubber meets the road for students, new students, or just as a refresher, because I suffer from it too. My attention span is kind of shrinking down. So in order to know what to do and to do it as it's instructed, you have to spend a little more time actually reading the instructions. I know that sounds basic, and yet the answer is basic. That's what it is. You've got to really get in there. Those instructions tell you what to do, but you have to tell yourself you're going to read and engage with them, you know, because sometimes you're reading also and you're thinking of something else. You just got to get in there, because I mean, I can explain it to you. Sometimes a student will email me and say, I don't understand. And then I explain the assignment as well on a video or something, but it's really mostly there for you in the written instructions, except for all the detailed information. You have to get Google Docs going. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I'll just share the whole desktop. I hope I don't have anything incriminating on there. Okay. All right, so let me just, you have to tell me if you're seeing it. Give me a thumbs up. Caden, I can see your face here. Okay, okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see do you see anything incriminating on my, no. All right, so here we go. Let me get rid of this. What is this doing? Hold on. Well, of course I've run into a snag right off the bat. Let me just try it again. I'm going to unshare. Oh, man. Here we go. All right, so that hopefully you can see, where are all my courses at the top? Do you see that? Are you looking at a screen? Are you looking at my screen? Okay, so this may be unfamiliar to you. Don't worry, this is what I see. And this is you guys, these little squares. So I'm going to go into your class. There it is. And what I'm going to call your attention to right off the bat, and somebody, you have to pipe up if for some reason the share is not working. It says I'm sharing it, but I don't know that you can see it. So EEE at the top is just how I, oops. The EEE at the top. I have 3 different classes, so I just go E, G, and F, and that's for me, not to worry. It's helpful for me if you know which one you are, but I can figure it out. Okay, so this is the home page. You can access all kinds of things, but what I want to call your attention to is this navigation bar. That's what we're going to call it, on the left. Announcements. If you're on this, you got your announcements. Excellent. There's going to be all kinds of things on those announcements. Sometimes I'll give you a tip, like if I've taught this class a lot, and sometimes a really common error will be coming up, and I'll give you a heads up. Don't do this, or watch out for this, or hey, this assignment is canceled. Whoa, if that's not incentive to look, I don't know what is. So pay attention to announcements, or the date of a due date changed, or there was like say a link went down and I had to fix it. So I mean, all kinds of things come in on those that can affect your schedule. So make sure you pay attention to announcement. So the syllabus, we'll look at it in a minute. These things are really important here too, as we go. There are so many resources here for writing tutoring. And you can use those for your papers. You can use them for practice assignments where we're doing pieces of essays. So if you just click on one of these, there we go. All of mine are going to say open in a new tab, and there you're at the Writing Center. You may have to click on a couple of tabs, but then you can, and you got to accept the cookies. And then here's all the things you can do at the Writing Center. We're here for you, in-person writing support. You can go in there in person or virtually and work on any piece of writing that you have. In this class, you'll have, it'll end up being 6 essays, but the final counts as one of the essays, and your grade is averaged. And so you may want to pay and it is weighted 70% of your grade. So those essays, the writing, the way that you're able to make a finished product of an essay, it's important. Tutor, look at this. You have your own personalized tutor. But you have to just open the tab and then you'll see Holly's information. So Holly is maybe here somewhere, she can help you out with your writing assignments. And sometimes I will say in the comments of an essay, because I can look and I can see pretty quickly that you might need a little bit of assistance or someone to help kind of review or different aspects of your writing. Maybe it's just punctuation, maybe it's understanding the assignment, maybe it's logical sequencing of ideas. I'm all over that action. Okay, so there we go. So now we're back. This is the navigation bar. We keep calling it the navigation bar. So hopefully you're going to become familiar with some of these terms on Canvas. Canvas and Tech Help. This is real important right off the bat. This week on Wednesday, I'm asking you to do something. Oh, look, open in a new tab. That just means here, this is a Google Doc. Okay, these are my Google Docs. You're going to have a Google Doc. Oh, there we go. You're going to have your own Google Doc. Just use your email and create an account. It's the easiest thing in the world. So I have one and I find it really easy to update documents for you. So what I've done here is I have collected all of the most current links to help that you can get if you're not understanding on Canvas, if you're not understanding Google Docs. There's student tech support. There's the resource finder. The resource finder is more than just help with Canvas or writing. It's like if you're having psychological issues, or you can find all kinds of things there. IT support and Canvas help. I mean, there is a lot of assistance. Then there's the Writing Center, peer education, and these are all writing assistance, the Tutor Mentor Project. So here it is. Look, it's a Google document that's right here on your navigation bar, and you can click on all those things. I've organized them for you. So that you can find the help that you need, because I am not really here to help you figure out how to, use Canvas and Google Docs and all of that. But I'm just showing you, look, class notes. We're going to look at my Google. Now I've rigged it so that it goes to my Google Doc that I've shared with anyone who has the link. Only I can edit it. And I put these things at the top of my class notes. Now, if I said class notes, right now, we're talking about the importance of the navigation bar. Okay, so now I might also sometimes on the class notes, I will copy and paste parts of someone's assignment. Like if you said something super brilliant, totally brill, I would copy and paste it on there and say something about it. Or if you made an error that everyone's making, I would say, oh, here's an example of this. Let's fix it. So sometimes I will, and then I'll maybe make a video and walk you through it and just send it to you in announcements. So here are the class notes. So anything can be on here, but just remember right now on this day at this time, if you can't remember how to get some of this technical help, I'm doubling down on how you can find it. Okay. These are all links to great resources. The resource finder, look, it goes right, they go right to it. Just follow the links. That's class notes. Okay. And then this is also going to be on class notes. This is called links to how-to documents. Now, I've been teaching this class for kind of a while. And over time, I have crafted many documents that tell you kind of in as simple as I can make it, because it's not entirely simple, how to write academically. Okay. And there are rules about it, and there are guidelines, and there is common sense, and then there is kind of evaluative criteria about sources and how you're using sources and referring to them, that is uniform across the board with colleges, and how you have to cite your sources. And it's just to keep everybody on the same page about where they're getting their information. It's not willy-nilly. So anyway, so here, I'm going to go to this document. This is on your class notes. I'm going to make it big. And this is just a Google Doc that I have that has this. You will see a lot of these in your instructions for your assignments, but I just assembled them all in case down the road you forget what. This one is the one that is mostly accessed. MLA Basics, Modern Language Association. In your writing, when you start writing about a text, and a text for our purposes is a video, a book, an article, mostly articles, TED Talks, that kind of thing, or information that you find, etc. That is a text, and you have to know how to engage with it, how to quote from it, and then how to respond to the quotes and integrate them into a series of ideas that make sense and are interesting and stay on track in a logical sequence. And that is really the gist of it. So this document will help you throughout the semester, and it will be in the instructions when you're asked to do something like this. How do you write an introduction? Let's just say you forgot. Let's just say, you know, weeks from now, you're writing your first essay, you're assembling the whole thing, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, how do I write a summary again? You can go, now let's remember where we are. We are in the class notes, all right? And then you'll have this links to how-to documents. So basically I've created a network so that most of what you need is going to be here, okay? How to find credible sources. This kind of thing is for later, but MLA Basics with errors to avoid. I doubled down on this one. This is the same document, but it's just another way to access it. So I'm trying to make it so that somehow or another you can access these instructional documents in case you forget every word I say, you know, because, you know, we forget everything. It comes in, it goes out, you know. So I've made this as helpful as I can. So let's look at the syllabus briefly. So that's how you're going to look at it too. And then you open it, and it's a Google Doc. Okay. And these are your CRN numbers. Back to business. We're getting to business. We're getting down to it. Fully online. You do not have to attend. This is not an attendance situation. However, the assignments are in sequence and they are due on specific days. Okay. So, and usually they're due Wednesdays. So we're in our general meeting, I've already said this. Office hours, Monday and Tuesday, 1:30 to 3:30. You can chat with me. We can do a Zoom, or you can just, mostly students send me emails, or, you know, whatever you need. Just those are my hours, but I'll respond to you if I see your email, you know, at a different time. I'll try to get back to you, but it's Monday and Tuesday. Now your assignments are due Wednesday, so make sure you look at them in case you have a question. You can ask me before it's due. So they're due Wednesday at midnight, at the stroke of midnight. So that way it doesn't usually clash with your other classes, but you do have to kind of organize your mind. Like, I've got to read the thing, I've got to understand, I've got to, you know, think about whatever the assignment is, and then I've got to, you know, write it, and then I've got to submit it by Wednesday. Okay. Class tutor. Okay. So here's the big kahuna here. You have to set up those Google Docs, because that's how I'm going to access your work. And now here's the thing, heads up, wake up, let's go. You have to do two things. It has to be, you have to submit it on a Google Doc, and I have to be able to edit it. And in order to do that, you have to do the, see this share setting? See, this is a Google Doc. So look, share. I'm doing it right now. Now I say anyone with the link, that is correct. and that's what you're gonna have to do. We're gonna go here, you're gonna do this. Now, I'm not gonna, so I'm gonna do it for a second, but I don't want you editing the syllabus. Okay, anyone with the link, you have to do editor, okay? Because that just means that when I see something that you're doing, like that I think I can help you with, or point out something that will be instructive, I can just go into your document. If I can't get into your document, it's hard for me to comment. So if you would like me not to comment on your work and just grade it, that is totally fine. But you're going to have to tell me that. Okay. If you just want, just write at the beginning of the document, just write no comments, please. And then I'll say either, this probably wouldn't pass or okay, and just give you the grade. That's fine with me. I just need to know. All right. But anyway, so you're going to set it up so that I can go into your document. So there's two things. You've got the Google document, you've got the URL. Now I have to change it back. Otherwise you'll all start changing the, anyone with the link can view. I don't want you editing the syllabus. That would be catastrophic. Okay, so I am showing you this because this is where you fidget with your Google Doc. This is a Google Doc. And you click on the share, and then you tamper with anyone with the link. You want it to say, it'll be restricted when you first get it, and you don't want that. And then you don't even want Santa Barbara City College, but if that's all that comes up, click that. But this is really what you want. I mean, we're not doing anything top secret, we're just writing things and practicing. So, and that's another thing to know, that what you write is kind of public. So don't say anything that you wouldn't want to have other people see and comment on, all that. And you can tell that some of you have already submitted your first assignment. And here, I'll show it. Let's see. Oh, so we were in the syllabus. I jumped out of it because I'm just going to go over, well, let me just, okay, I'm sorry. I was going to go out of context there. Let me go back to the syllabus so you can get an overview. So every week, as tutor, so set up Google Docs, and then here I've put the instructions for Google Docs. This is a Google Doc. This is the part you need to worry about, this upper right hand share setting. Technical support, again, I've put it there for you, all the links you need. So the way these assignments are set up is we have a lot of readings, and they're in a module. You'll see that there's a whole list of readings, and there's a lot of them in there that are not assigned to you, but they might be helpful to you when you write a research paper, or if you're just interested in the topic, you'd be like, ooh, what does this one say? So there's a big list of readings, and you have to get a few under your belt, and then the first essay will be you commenting and structuring an essay around one of these texts. Okay, and you get to choose it. But first, we're going to practice writing an introductory paragraph, a summary. Now, summaries it sounds like a big bore, but there's kind of an art to it, in which you paraphrase, meaning put into your own words, not too close to the original, and not too, and you're accurately representing the content. And it's a series of, quotes and paraphrase that capture the essence of the text, which is represented to a reader. You always imagine that the reader doesn't know what you're talking about. All right. So you have to orient the reader by doing a brief summary of whatever it is you're going to be writing about. And we're going to practice doing that. That's the part where the MLA gets in there, and that students, so it takes a little bit more thought, because you have to really understand what you've read, and then really make sure that how you represented it is accurate. And that's kind of the work. That's kind of, you got to get out the, the shovel. I don't know. You got to work on that one. And that's the one where the beginning of this little spiel that I'm doing, I said it's time. It's going to take more time than just glancing and then going. Because summary, to do it in the way that we're asking you to do it with the MLA and the academic writing, is you may have some experience with it, you may not. And there's lots of examples all over this your Canvas shell. So I've provided tons of examples. So it's not hard to find and figure out, but it takes a little bit of time to wrestle it to the ground so that you have it as a skill. And it's a skill that's going to serve you if you become it doesn't matter what you become. If you're ever writing a letter or a document, or you're a lawyer, or you're marketing or whatever it is you go into, or even the arts. I mean, it is really helpful to be able to encapsulate the content of that which has come before so that you can engage and enter into the academic conversation or just the art conversation or the business conversation. But you can't just glide in without having any context or understanding what anyone before you has said. Okay, there's someone else coming in. Okay, so that's me kind of going la la la. This is me being kind of pedantic. Read the instructions. Yes, every word. So look, links to how-to documents. There they are again, me being super helpful. And those are all semester long. So you can look at the syllabus or you can look at the class notes to find links to how do I do a summary? What was the MLA? You know, if you forget anything, you can, you know, click back over and look at it and remember it. Oh, at the end of the semester, I asked students, oh, you're going to read this book. And it's called well, let me see if I can get it to go on the, Stretch. Okay. And it's just super practical and fun. And it's kind of like, oh, of course. It's about using the resources that you have instead of waiting for those that you don't. Just giving away the whole book. But anyway, students make a video at the end of the semester. You're going to do this, just like a 1 or 2 minute video, and you can click on these are videos that a couple of students made before you last semester. Okay, and they just kind of how they structured their lives to succeed in school and college. So it's a fun assignment. We do it at the end just so that you can benefit from the people who came before you, but you can also pass on whatever tricks and tips that you have that helped you kind of figure out how to get your work and all that done. And tell me if you remember this at all, if taking time reading and understanding the assignment and the example and all of that was a helpful tip that I'm giving you, because I see a lot of students they fail and most of them succeed, but they find that it takes more time than they're used to spending on their devices. Oh, let me just say this. I have had the occasion to sometimes have to do some of this work on my phone. And I have to say, everything looks better. Everything is easier if you can do it on your laptop, if you have one. And the college has ones that you can borrow as well. On the phone, everything shrinks down. There's a few different systems. It's just harder. You know, I'm not against it, but I think even when I write on the phone, my daughter and I have like a shared document that we do, and we review movies. And it's not as the ease of use on the phone. It just doesn't go as well. So for this endeavor, I think it's okay to use your phone if you've got to, you know, here and there. But just remember that some assignments don't turn out as well when you do them on the phone. Okay, here's the nuts and bolts. Grading. There's Canvas calculates your grade automatically. I've just put in a formula and it's 5% per day. It goes down that it's late. And that's just to keep you on track, because if you don't understand, you know, how to write an intro and then how to write a summary, and you're trying to hand that in, weeks later, it's too late, because we're already writing the essay and you have to have understood that. So there's a lateness policy, and it just calculates it. I don't do anything. And the first assignment, sometimes there's extra credit. You get an extra point for an assignment. And then that can kind of, you have to look at the grade. That'll kind of artificially inflate your grade for a while. So it may look like it's going down on the next assignment, but that's just because you got extra credit. So here's the thing. 70% of the grade are the essays. 30% are the assignments and the discussions. So these words, assignment and discussion, let me just clarify for you that discussions are a type of assignment, and the first assignment you have is a discussion, and you're going to tell about yourself. We'll look at it in just a minute. Okay, so what else do we have to do? Okay, so if you're somebody who thinks I may not, I'm going to barely pass, this is not my best subject, this is a really difficult subject, don't miss a single assignment. Just make sure you get all the credit for all of the assignments. And when you have a reading assignment and you're asked, sometimes there's 5 points and 5 points, make sure you do the whole thing and get all the credit you can for that. But the 70% essay weight is just to ensure that at your excellent college, people who pass the essay writing portion are people who can write fairly well. And they've, if they've worked at it and they've kind of increased their skills so that they can represent, graduates of this college with pride. Okay, using Google Docs, again, I'm going on and on about that. Reading carefully has never been so important. Again, all the words. Okay, so and that's just review. Just you can read the syllabus. No one in the history of syllabus reading has ever, poured over the whole thing. And if you have, your kudos, because it's not really a thing people do that much. But it has all the rules and rules of the road here, and hopefully they're crystal clear. So let's go to modules. Now that's the modules are just the different sections that we have. Here we go. This is the first one. Now I'm gonna click over to student view. Uh-oh. They're not going to give it to me. Okay, so they're not going to give me the student view. Let me go back. I won't do it. We'll just do my view. See over here, just FYI, it tells me I click on this. Let's look. And I can see people's assignments. Diana Lopez has submitted her assignments, and then I look and I read them, and then I, give points, and then I go along. So I can see how many people have responded. So let's go to this is just one. Those are my 3 classes, and I'm gonna click on modules, and you should have. I did set it up so that you should have a to-do list, and the to-do list usually reminds you of what's due. But if that is not functioning properly, or if that doesn't help you, these are the modules. The first one is resources. How to do a summary, guidelines for online discussion, how to submit a Google Doc. Some of that's repetitive because I'm trying to make sure that you can click on something that will help you do these things. MLA basics, there it is again. Introductions, conclusions, transitions, quotations. So what I'm saying, it says welcome module, but you can use all of these documents throughout. Let's say when you write your paper, or when you write your first essay, and you may have forgotten, what does she mean by transitions? What is all that about? You might want to review, and here's a little, it's a document. Let's just make sure it goes. And you don't click on link to doc, just go and look at this. How to write an introduction, very short. How to write a concluding paragraph, very short. And by the way, don't write in conclusion. It's kind of a pet peeve. Okay, so writing transitions. Okay, that's transitions I made a big deal about because they connect one idea to the next, and before you can launch to the next idea, you've got to link ideas together with different words, but also it takes some kind of phrases and revision. Oops. Okay, so I'm going back to, I kind of clunked out of there. Okay. Oops. We're going back to modules. So so remember, there's resources for the whole semester are in this first module. So I'm going to shrink it up. So here we go. This is unit 1. And first we practice. So we're going to be practicing, and we're also just going to be writing to kind of get loose with writing and getting used to submitting assignments and all of that. But you're also going to be reading some texts that you'll be responsible for, that you'll practice writing the different types of assignments on them. So the first, let's see if we can just go to it. This is the first assignment. You should have clicked on it, and it should look like this. You say, hi, hello, everyone. You're going to write a 6 to 7 sentence introduction of yourself, and it's a discussion. So when you do a discussion, you just kind of go down there, and it's, hi, it's me, the teacher. I just wrote that to see if anybody could see it. And then look, Hannah Williamson, she says hi, and then she's written about herself. And then it goes on and on. And then I'm going to give you credit for the word count. You got to write, if it says 200 words, it has to be that long. If it says 2 sentences, it says 2 to 3 sentences, you have to respond to someone else so that you can all get kind of chatty. And again, if you want to share information, if you want to contact someone, discussions are a place to do it. Somebody, if you say, hey, could you help me figure out Google Docs? If that's a way that could help you do something, just reach out to your fellow classmates. That's fine. You have nothing to lose. They could say, no, thank you. And you know, oh, look, extra credit. So what I did was, because I'm really a stickler, I keep telling you, read all the words. So at the bottom of this, I put what the extra credit is. Extra credit, if you embed one of these three phrases, and it has to be in bold somewhere in your response, little did I suspect, to my astonishment, the exact date eludes me. If I see one of those in bold in your response, then you get 11 points instead of 10. Okay. And I did that because I'm making a big thing about reading the instructions, and it's not the first instruction you receive. It's like, oh, and by the way, here's extra credit, just to make sure that you're really getting a grip on the instructions. And, you know, these are the tips for online discussions. You've got to be nice, be courteous, give compliments, add an idea, build on somebody else's, describe, you know, just be courteous and thoughtful in all of your responses to other people, of course, right? It's like your mom taught you, hopefully, or someone taught you along the way. All right, so that's the first assignment. And I'm going to go back and we're going to look at the second assignment. The second assignment is, oops, it's kind of jumping around there. All right, same assignment. So you just cut and paste, and you're gonna submit that as a Google Doc. All right. And down here, you can see these are rubrics. You can see how things are graded down below. Sometimes I don't make a whole rubric because it's self-explanatory, but sometimes I do. So if you, okay, so here's the thing, I'm coming back around. 1 point is I can read it. 2 points is I can edit it. Okay, because that's the thing. I really want you to get that anyone can edit situation under control. How to submit it on Google Docs. Look, here's instructions. Here's how to get help doing it if my instructions let you down. So there, I mean, I'm doing everything I can, except my job isn't really to walk you through that stuff. So use your resources, read instructions, and you'll be fine. Most students do just fine, but occasionally it presents a challenge. Okay, so that's your second one. So I expect to get, and this one, you don't have to write anything new. You can revise it if you want. I don't mind. And then you, or not, just cut and paste, put it on a Google Doc. I want you to set up your Google Docs. So this is how you set up your Google Doc. Put your name and your section number, if you could. All right, put what section you're in. And English 10 fall 2020. So then look what I do. I'm doing this right in front of you. When I see that I need to fix something, there we go. Because this is my Google Doc. That's what you're going to do. You're going to hit share. Anybody with the link can view, because remember, I don't want you editing it, but you guys are going to go like this. Editor. You want anyone in the world to edit it, but I can't leave it like that because you can't be editing. You can't be editing these assignments, but that's how I do it. So I'm a user of Google Docs, and it makes it very easy once you get the hang of it. And you see, I just fixed an error, and now I just refresh the page, and then it'll come through on there too. So let's see if it already did. It takes a little while. Anyways, so that's what you do. Your name and your section number, and fall 2022. I forgot the date. And paste your introduction of yourself from the previous assignment. All right. So I am going to stop share. That was just me. All right. So what is the question situation? Anybody got a question? Are you dumbfounded? Do I talk really fast? Yes. I know I speak really quickly, but maybe you can put it in slow motion somehow. Okay. Oh, the final, you want to know about the final? The final counts as an essay. And then all the essays are averaged. And the final, you'll have a choice of 3 different readings, which you'll know like a week in advance. And then the final will be based on one of them. And you'll have to write an academic essay exactly like the first one you're going to write, which follows a really traditional pattern of you're going to write an introduction that gets our attention and it's kind of fun and interesting related to the topic at hand. And then a summary briefly to get the reader oriented to the text that you're going to be discussing. You're going to use the MLA technique, which is primarily in the TED Talk, The Happy Secret to Better Work by, I can't remember his name, by Todd X. He discusses the ways in which we have the equation for success the way the equation for success is, in quotes, broken and backwards. X discusses blah, blah, blah. So there's a way to do it. We're going to do it again and again, and we'll get it. And then you write 2 analysis paragraphs, and then you write a conclusion. So analysis is hard. It requires a lot of focus, and then you have to bring your own original ideas to it. Anytime you're engaging with a text, you're going to separate out different ideas, a single idea. You're going to paraphrase it, and then you're going to weigh in on it, bring your own insight, your own experience, your own understanding of the text, and something that you know that makes it new and fresh and alive. Or you make an analogy, and we'll discuss this more about how you do an analysis paragraph, but you will be asked to do that. And the way you use your own experience is to engage with the text. The first thing that you read, one of the first ones is about stereotyping, and that's something that everybody has either observed or it's been in the discussion zeitgeist for a while now. So you'll have experience and insight and ideas about it. But the first thing you have to do is extract a single idea from the text. All right. And on that, on the dangers of stereotyping by Chimichanda Adichie, that one is it's a little tricky to extract single ideas. Sometimes students get too general. And I'm just going to give you just a little tip of the day, giving you too many already. Overgeneralization about what is in a text is a real common mistake. In academic writing, you're asked to kind of focus in and understand all the particular parts that make up the whole, the various ideas and what exactly is being suggested and how it relates to the whole. So academic writing is kind of rigorous because academic reading is rigorous. And that's why, science and math progress on, science, math, the humanities. That's how we build on what has come before. But it's our job to enter the academic conversation by being able to represent some of what has come before and then weigh in and bring your own ideas. Okay. All right. Oh, wait, let's look at the chat. Our first assignment is due on the 31st. Yeah, that's Wednesday. The stroke of midnight. My Canvas isn't showing any of my classes, so I'm trying to figure that out now. Now, that I don't know the answer to. Your Canvas is not showing your stuff. Well, I think this is being recorded, so you can see. I know, send me an email and I'll send you a link to the, or you know what I'll do? I'll send an announcement with the link for some of those help. What is a section number? Okay, hold on. Let me share the screen. Oh, you can email me. Let me just go through this one. You email me through Canvas. I'm going to tell you something here. Let me share the screen. I'm going to show you what, if you just email me at eHandley, it goes into this gigantic, really inefficient mail system that is set up on the college. So let me just show you that. Let me share my screen again. I'll show you. Welcome to my world. Okay, that's what I'll show you. So I'll go desktop. Let me see if that works out. I don't know why that one. I got it. Okay, so this is where I want your emails to come, right here. All right, and that you have to open your Canvas, sign into Pipeline, and then go to your class, and then you send me an email. if you don't, it goes into this. So I'm logging in and I'll show you this. It goes into this email, which the college sets this up, and it's just, I have one, and then it's just thousands of emails. So it's very hard for me to see when students have sent me something there. So in the syllabus, I'm asking you, you can email me. Now, remember, we have to read the instructions first and give things, here's another tip that I have for you is, even if you don't quite know, give it a go. That's kind of, I had to, at some point a while back, I had to set up all this. I didn't know how to do any of this. And sometimes I would just sort of stumble through by attempting it and then revising, like playing a video game. You get killed in one level and you regroup and you figure out where you went wrong, and then you do a different strategy. It's kind of like that. And remember, we're going to have computer glitches or whatnot. I mean, that's just how it goes. So this is the inbox. This is where I can send you emails. So the other thing is, what is a CRN number? Oh, CRN. Every class has a CRN number, 41043, and that should be somewhere on your Canvas. That one, I don't know exactly where that goes. Again, I am not a student, so I don't, and I had a little trouble. It wasn't giving me the student view. So, and I don't know why it wouldn't, but sometimes I can see how you see it, which is similar, but not the same. You don't need to know, who submitted an assignment. That's for me. But more or less, you should have a shell. If look at your CRN number that you signed up with, every class has, it's just how they designate all of the, what's this? It's just how they, look, I'm just doing my word. Whoops, I'm getting distracted. It's the CRN number is just how they organize groups of students so that they can be organized. And that's where the grades are submitted. It's just a administrative number of each class. So you should be able to find it. And I've called you, I have nicknames for the classes, which you don't need to worry about. Let's try again student view and see what happens. Oh, there. So this is your view, final exam preparation, August 6th. Don't worry about that. Welcome. Final exam. You know what that means? It means that when I designed it, I made it available to you way early. Like if you wanted to do your final, if you wanted to look and see what it looked like, you could look. You couldn't do it. You see, some of these are open because I want you to be able to look at, if you go to modules is where you can see the sequence of assignments. There you go. Can I tamper with you guys? Yes, I can. So this is where you have resources, online, you go, how do I do that? I go there. But here I'd be like, what's my first assignment? Click on that. What's my second one? Click on that. Here comes the next one. And this is a reading assignment. And here's another reading assignment. These are both of the same reading. Here comes another reading assignment based on another assignment. Anyways, it just goes on and on like that. And we're just at the beginning, you're reading 3 different things and you're doing different kind of writing assignments according to each one, but you need to remember what you've read. So that's what you see. And announcements, you should always check that. It should go to your email when there's announcement. Hopefully you have set yourself up so that you receive those emails and you have them marked important in case, like, I'm not going to be, well, I don't know that it's going to be crucial for you to know if I'm going to be away or something like that. Usually I can do my work even if I am away. But you never know if an assignment is not going to count or something like that. You'd want to know, right? Etc. Student support. So you've got all the stuff. And if a link is busted, make sure you tell me. Okay, so I'm going to look and see if there's any more. Oh, I thank you, Ana Rios. I guess my student view worked. I wonder if you can. Where's Ana? Is she here? You want to share your screen? Try to share your screen. Let me make sure that you can.
No, I just I just offered that because I didn't know if you would be able
Well,
to
I just
show
want to,
us
let's
the
do a little
student
test
view.
if you can share the screen.
Okay.
So
I
let's
don't
see
know
what
how to do that.
you don't.
Oh wait, share screen.
Yeah, at the bottom, just click it and let's see if it asks me.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing. I don't know what that.
That means that I have it set so that you can't, but I need to, okay. Let me see if I can. Let me see if that fixes it. No, try again.
Yes. Should I? Ooh,
Go
give me so
share
many
screen.
options.
Click away. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing will explode.
Wait, I don't know. Can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, neither do I. I mean, I sort of do. I'm trying to think.
Um,
Participants.
It's not letting me share it.
Okay, well, I will, I'm gonna work on that because I want to be able to do that. No,
Sorry.
no. Okay, well, well, luckily I was able to do the student view. Were you able to submit your assignment?
No, I have not done that yet.
You haven't done your work yet? What? All right.
I actually had a question.
Yeah.
So when I click on dashboard on the Canvas, it says today there's a huge list of assignments. Is that just, that's not all due today, right?
No,
That's
no,
just like,
that huge list is just means that those are available to you to look at. The ones
gotcha. Okay.
that are due have a due date. So it's that to-do list is just when I open an assignment early, it comes up there.
Mhm.
But I just wanted you to be able to see things that were down the line. But the only thing you have to
Okay.
worry about is just go to modules and the things that are due. There's only things due like every Wednesday in sequence. There's nothing
Okay, that's good.
gigantic like that. But that's good for me to know that that is something maybe I can see, but I want them to be open.
Yeah, I've just never used Canvas before, so I was
It's a good question because I might panic if I saw like a giant list.
yeah.
But don't worry about the
Yeah,
giant list.
but
The
we're
giant list
good.
does not mean everything is due. Maybe I need to fix that and
Okay,
figure out how to have that not happen.
it's all good. I
But
know
you know
now.
how you get out of that, and you know, people will watch this, I guess, a little bit. Oops. I'm going to share the screen. The way you oh, someone just came. The way you get out of that, I said we have access to, oh, see, dashboard I can't have because I'm in student view. I'm going to leave the student view because I don't want to look at anybody's actual dashboard. The thing to remember, and for me, you don't see this because that's me. I have to work. I've got to grade your stuff. But when you have the when you're in your shell, you go in, just go to modules, because that is just the sequence. This is just how it's going to go. Unit 1, week 1 through 4, instructions, assignment, and to-do list. And the nature of this to-do list has to do with how Canvas works. So I open things up and I leave them open a little bit before and after they're due. And some things I open long before they're due, like your research paper, in case some of you want to get a head start. Now, I have to say that having said that, it's pretty easy to just go in sequence because the building blocks of the skills, if you're able to keep up, it's logical how you learn to do this, then you learn to do that, and then you put them together, you know, so it makes sense how it's structured. So these are the assignments in sequence, and those are the assignments that you have, and they have the dates on them. So when you see something on the right-hand side, make sure you look at the date of it, and you can just turn it off. And then just go to modules if you really want to know what's due. And it's all done by date, and it's always every Wednesday. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. I'm going to unshare. I'm sorry that it kind of did that thing. Where do you turn in the first assignment? Click on the assignment, scroll down, and then there's a place for you. It says reply, and you put in your assignment. Again, that's not, I mean, I'm not the most helpful with that. You're just gonna have to attempt it a couple of times. And then again, I've given you the resources if you can't manage that right off the bat. Again, sometimes just do something. It won't explode. It won't, just enter it, press return. I don't know. Keep going. Oh, the power is going down. All right, all right.
Yeah, sorry, it kept kicking me out. I'm on like my hotspot now, so we're good. But
Okay.
thank you, sorry.
That's okay, but you should be able to just go into the assignment, go to the bottom of it and enter your business. Okay. All right, any other, can we start our other, yeah, you can start your assignments early. That's why I open them early. You sure can. And sometimes you need to do that. Let's say you're going on a trip or you have something coming up. If you're paying attention, you can, read and go. The thing you really need to do is do them in order so that you understand and the skills build that once you understand. The hardest thing is going to be the MLA writing, not just because you have to memorize kind of a system of quotation and paraphrase, but also because you also have to analyze. You've got to be able to extract a single idea from a text. It's more like really close and articulate reading, if I can give you that. And then as you analyze, and so often what you think you're writing is not really what's coming out. So there's a whole process of kind of going over it a couple of times to make sure that it is a response that is specific, not generalized, and has some sort of particular insight and is original to you. And it's a response to a single idea, not some vague generalized idea. And nor is it a response that is vague and generalized about all people are on the internet and they're all depressed. It isn't like that. You have to read a text, look at the evidence, and limit the scope of what the evidence might suggest and what your kind of conjectures about what the implications of that might be, or how does it pertain to your own experience or insight. But we do want to avoid generalization. Now I'm just kind of going on my way about MLA, but the original question was, can I go ahead? Can I do assignments in advance? And you can, but it'll make more sense if you go in order. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. So assignments are only due once a week, typically on Wednesdays. That is true. Okay, there's a couple, like the one in Thanksgiving. There's a paper due on the Monday before Thanksgiving. So I didn't do it on Wednesday because people go away. So and it says on the assignment Monday. So what is the section? Can we in? And remember, if you email me, sign into Canvas, get into your shell, then email me there. If you do it the other way, like I said, I showed you, it goes into this morass of emails from the college. And I mean, I sometimes see them right off the bat, but sometimes they get lost. They go to the wrong section. I don't, it's not a good system there. But the Canvas one is a great system. I see right away. Oh, so I've got two emails from students, bada boom. So, okay. Anything else? Everybody good to go? Has anybody taken English 110 before? Maybe not. Okay, because it is a class that people repeat sometimes. And then usually the good news is they pass the second time around, because what they come to the conclusion of is that time thing. It's that business of actually engaging with the instructions in the examples. And you're going to, a lot of times if your response is a little off track in some way of what we're trying to practice, that's fine. But then I often will refer you to, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen one more time, just so you know, I almost forgot to do this. Let me share one more time. I want to show you one more thing about, okay, about what's on your modules that you can access. Okay, so I'm going to go to Canvas. Okay, so we're going to go, here we go. I'm just going to any class because all three classes are the same. So back to modules, I forgot to tell you this, but this is important as we go. So you'll see this is the whole semester in sequence, all the assignments. These are the essay assignments. Oh, the one is missing, which is a narrative, but if you were just wondering, you could look at it in advance. That's fine. There's actually one more that's a narrative. We don't have, here are the readings. Some of the modules aren't assignments, they're just resources for you. So you can the danger, that's the first thing you're going to read. These are optional, you might use them later. You're going to read this, you're going to read this, you're going to read this, you're going to read this. I love Olga Kazan, she's so interesting. And you're going to read this, you're going to read this. These are all readings you're going to do. And then some of these, this is a podcast, but it's about maximizing productivity based on all the most recent, up-to-date, peer-reviewed scientific studies. So I love Huberman, the bias of addition over subtraction. Don't miss that. It's really interesting. These are all resources that you can use when you're writing your papers if you want, because you're going to do a research paper too. You could use any of these as well. This is a podcast. Okay, so example essays. So sometimes, let's just say you're really lost, you don't know what the heck, and there's always an example in the, except for the narrative. I'm just going to see what you come up with on that one in a certain way. But there's examples of, these are student essays, all of these. My Dinner with Android, it was really good. There's a movie called My Dinner with Andre. So if you don't know that, you don't know how clever that is. The Flight from Conversation, that was Emma B. KDB. These are just all students over the past couple semesters, all the things they've written. Essay 2. Now you're not going to do this essay, but nonetheless, these are examples of academic writing and how you have to engage with a text. You'll see you're not going to use you. There's all these little rules of the road. Here's research papers. If you're like, what does that even mean? What does it even look like? Why don't you read these? Okay. Let's say you're having trouble with introductory paragraphs, which not that many people do. That's usually the easiest type. It's more summary. This is a slideshow that talks about summary, and it just gives you another way in of how to do it. The summary and the analysis are the nuts and bolts of higher level thinking and academic writing. It's not easy. So that's where you've got to really pour your energy into writing cogent and focused analyses, in which the logical sequence of your thoughts is reflected in the way that you transition from one thought to the next within the bounds of language and sentences. I mean, that is the art of writing right there, no matter what you're writing. Then you have, I call it single point analysis. And I call it that because I want to avoid generalizations about what sort of vaguely the talk is about. I want you to get in there on one of the points and really go specific. Now we want you to go specific or go home. Go big or go home. Go small or go home. Example of a summary of a day. Look at that right there. That's actually one of your assignments. So you could cheat, I suppose. But you'd have to write your own anyway. Example of a summary and an introduction, power of introvert. There's all kinds of examples that you can use if you're feeling like, what is this supposed to sound like? If the instruction, they'll give you, in the instructions, I usually put one model. Sometimes I'll write one, and then I'll use a student one. And then you also have these. And these are study questions. I don't know that you need to look at all those. Readings for the final, that's not, see, you won't see all these, you'll just see the final exam. So there you go. And here at the bottom, rubrics. Oh, let's just talk about this for 1 minute. Oh, that's a credibility of sources. The rubric, actually, I'm going to show you it in a different way. I'm going to go to look, 110 standard biz. We should have a here it is. This is big time. Here we go. This is how you get an A, B, C, D. This is how it goes. Although in English 110, we've always graded students on a 1 to 6, which translate to A, B, C, D. However, this is what has to happen in a 6 essay, presents analysis with evidence of clear and logical. A 6 essay doesn't really have any surface errors. It doesn't have any gaps in connections between one sentence to the next. That's a big deal to just suddenly put in a sentence that doesn't relate to the one before it, really. You know, the more thoroughly one idea is connected to the next, the more seamless your ideas can, you know, evolve or emerge to the reader. If there's gaps in that, it won't get a 6. 6 is hard. It's really free of errors in sentence structure, grammar. I also have a big thing about punctuation. I have all these documents to help you. If your essay is flawless, but it's all, the punctuation is not even close, it can't get a 6 because it interferes with reading. When you don't know how to punctuate is such that you're putting sentences together. And most of you, I've learned over the years, if you have a problem with that, you already know it. So I'm giving you a chance to learn how to do it. And how you connect two complete sentences and then sentences that have because and while and if. There's all these techniques to it. But anyway, so that's just punctuation. It sounds like such a kind of a needly thing that the English teacher is going to say, but it really does matter. There's some clever sentences that show you why that matters, like something about grandpa eating the cat or something, where if the comma makes all the difference. Sometimes that's true, but when it comes to like a run-on sentence or there's no period in between, it does confuse readers. Anyway, so there's the criteria for a 5. There's a 4, and you need a 4. I think you need a C+ to pass English 110. So sometimes when you write something, all the time, I'll give you like a 5.5, or I use the decimal system because it's rare that it's just it's not rare. A lot of people just come in with a 6 and it's wonderful. But, once you get down into this area, it's more like a 4.8, 5.2. I have a real sense of exactly, I want to give you the best estimation of exactly where you are on that. So, and when it comes to things like corrections and punctuation, sometimes I will highlight the sections that you need to look at again. Sometimes I'll fix one and say, you have to go throughout and fix the rest. And then we'll go from there. There's things we can do. But my experience tells me that people learn how to punctuate only when they want to, or they learned how to do it because they read a lot. And that's just kind of how it turns out. But again, I'm sure a lot of you know this about yourself already. And if you're a little confused, I'm happy to get into your Google Doc because I can edit it and then I'll do one for you. And then see if you can apply the principle there to the rest of your work. So there's the rubric, and that's in the it's in the syllabus, but it's also on the essay assignment at the bottom. You can see all these criteria. So it has to be kind of seamless and top notch. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I'm sorry, it keeps giving out. I think we're good. Okay. Anybody else? Well, you'll have questions as you go, and this is just a little primer. Again, if you read the instructions, your life will be so easy. It's taken me years to hone them. So a lot of thought goes into, some of them I made shorter. But there's a lot to consider when you're writing. It's not like math, there's some gray area, and everyone writes it a different way in the end. And if you think about math, everyone ends up with the same equation. Well, here there's guidelines, and you have to kind of get in there and then be creative within the guidelines, and then you're set. So it's a little fuzzier, but just do the best you can. And no, there's no Zooms daily. What are you, crazy? No, we are not going to do Zoom daily. Sometimes I send you a video of me talking like this, because I'll just record one to send it to you in case that helps you. If I get like a lot of questions, or if this, so I never know whether this actually helps. Oh, look, Nico has shown his face. Okay. What else do we have? How often are Zooms? Not often. This is a class that is not an attendance based class. You're not graded on attendance. You're graded on the assignments and how you submit them. If you're reading the instructions, if you're adhering to them, we just looked at the rubric. If you have creative, logical thinking, if you are a good reader, I mean, you've got to, well, not are you a good reader, but did you read this well? Because for everybody, some people, it's easy as falling off a log, and other people have to spend a lot of time to make sure they've really absorbed, especially let's say English is your third language or something. It'll take longer to understand all the context of something that's just in English for English speakers. So it depends on how well you understand and how well you end up emulating this kind of academic writing. But the first assignment is not academic writing. However, I did ask you to punctuate it properly just because I want to see. I just want to know what's going on with that, so I can kind of get a sense of it. So, and you can just tell whatever you want about yourself, your background if you want, or you can keep it light, you can go deep, you can do it however you want. And remember that you can say on there on the assignment, if you here's my info, if you want to contact me, I can help. If you think you could help somebody submit their assignment, or if you want to Zoom with a fellow student, that's fine. And then Holly, the tutor, is also here for you too. She'll set up Zooms with you as well. And she's right there on one last, let's review this. Oh wait, I gotta share the screen, sorry. Oops, I'm going to share the screen one more time just to review this important factor. Sharing, am I sharing the screen? I think I am. Not that one. Let me just get back. Okay, so you're here you are, you're in you have these cards, you go in. Remember all of these things. This is called the navigation bar. Look, MLA basics with errors to avoid. That'll be handy later on. Modules, class notes. You know, it's in class notes, all of the links to the technical help. You know where else you can get the technical help? Like, I don't know how to do an assignment. Look, you can go here and there's like 5 different virtual connections you can make where they'll walk you through that sort of thing. Here's the writing center. I'm really messing up. I'm not doing it right. What can I do? Writing center, tutoring. And then we have Holly. She's here for you, and that's her information. Okay. Punctuation basics. Look at that. Student support. This is if you're having like some other kind of troubles, that the college has all kind of resources for the whole person. So if you're having issues that kind of fall, or even if you're, I don't know what courses to take next semester, student support, there it is. This Zoom is just for me. Don't worry about that. Punctuation basics. I bring that up because it comes up a lot. All right. So this is your navigation bar, and there's lots of resources right there for you. And that is it. Okay. Now I really mean I'm gonna stop and share. Anything else? Anybody? Are we good? Oh, sorry, I'm doing the laundry. Okay. I gotta go pull my laundry. So any questions? Yeah, no. All right, well, send me an email, but mostly do your assignment, and then I can learn a little bit more about you. I'm at home, I take care of my mom. She's on hospice. It's kind of a thing. That's, I mean, of course I have a long story, but that's a short version. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. Okay. And remember, this is just a one-time Zoom. The rest of them will be like, if you want to look at an assignment together, I can do that with you. And then I will fix it so that other people can share on the Zoom. I'll figure that out. So thank you, Anna, for getting that going. We want to be able to see your screen too. Okay, have a good day. No more questions. Take care and get your, yes, you're welcome. And get your work done. Do your work. That's my advice. Do your work.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank
Bye.
you.